All right. We'd like to call to order tonight's City Council study session for Tuesday, July 8th. We'd like to excuse Mayor Alex Finter, who's out of town, along with Councilmember Summers, who will be joining us at the regular council meeting. The first item on the agenda is to review items on the agenda for July 8th regular council meeting. So if everyone is ready. Items 2 through 3C. Items 3D through 4B. Items 4C through 4E. Items 4F through 5B. Items 5C through 6D. Items 7A through 7E. And then Mr. Wesley?
Yes, Vice Mayor. We got a request from the applicant on item 7A. That's the plat for Dahlia Point, asking that be pulled from the agenda tonight. They have a few technical issues they need to resolve, and they'll resubmit.
Okay, so that item will be pulled from the agenda this evening. All right, the next item on the agenda is to hear presentation, discuss, and provide direction regarding a memorandum of understanding with ArtSpace.
Good evening, Vice Mayor and members of the council. Thank you very much for having us this evening. My name is Natalie Lewis, and I work in the city manager's office. And with me today is Wendy Holmes. She's with the ArtSpace project, so she's here to provide some insights on the kinds of developments that they've done nationwide and that they plan on doing here. And Kim Fallback from our real estate department. For the audience at home, just to kind of bring them up to speed, I want to talk just real quickly about what is ArtSpace. ArtSpace is a nonprofit. They're a real estate developer, and they specialize in creating affordable housing for artists and also for creative services. They work with communities. They do some studies up front. They bring in local partners, and they find funding, both public funding and private funding, to make things work. So we're at the very beginning stages. We've done some studies. We've identified that there's definitely a need and that there's interest in ArtSpace in Mesa. And we're coming to you today because we've identified a site. And what we need from you is your formal approval to allow us to enter into exclusive negotiations with ArtSpace for use of the site. So I'm going to turn it over to Kim, and she's going to talk about the site and its background. And then again, Wendy will provide some additional background about ArtSpace, and we'll end with getting your direction.
The site is located on South Hibbert, about the 100 block of South Hibbert on the east side, just north of 2nd Avenue. Real estate, it was designated as downtown slum and blight, and we did acquisition of multiple properties over a 15-year span from 1984 to 1999, and general funds were used for the purchase. It is on approximately 1.7 acres, and we have received an appraisal on it and to help us with the negotiations with ArtSpace. The current zoning of the property is DR2, which allows 12 units per acre, up to 2 stories, and DR3, which allows 40 units up to 2 to 3 stories.
So some basic background information and some comparable projects that we've done across the country that we thought would be good ones for you to be aware of. We have a transit-oriented development, which is our 4th project in Seattle right now. It's just opening up. It's 80,000 square feet of space for artists to live and work, and there's 10,000 square feet of commercial space. Most of it is focused on a daycare preschool for Vietnamese children in the neighborhood. So a lot of times we mix the kinds of uses in the building. The kinds of funds that we used for this project are CDBG, home, low-income housing tax credits, private sector philanthropy, and in this case, the county's cultural attaché also contributed to this project. And this is our 4th in the city of Seattle. By the way, the one that we're working on now in Mesa would be the first in the state of Arizona. I think that's not insignificant to tell to you today. Another project in the Chicagoland area in Elgin, Illinois, a community of about 100,000 north of Chicago. This is also a mixed-use project. It has 55 units of space for artists and 6,000 square feet of non-residential space devoted to community uses and artist studios and creative businesses. It's 78,000 square feet of space, and it's a $15.3 million project. It's a Main Street revitalization project. A lot of these projects are catalysts for neighborhood growth and positive economic development in the neighborhoods in which they are located. These are some of the interior, a look at some of the interior spaces. It's a large live-work unit, lots of space for artists to do their work without a lot of interior walls or columns. The amenities include large windows with access to natural light and durable surfaces. Another example of that. And then this is one of the community spaces. So when we talk about community space, we talk about really actively used spaces where artists can invite the community in, where they can do performances, where they can do exhibitions. They can do all kinds of things. Our project in Fort Lauderdale last year, we had 68 events in the space. So it's very, very active space. And that it's amenity for both the artists who live in the building, but it's an amenity for the community at large as well.
Councilmember Benelli.
Wendy, who does the programming of the space, the 68 functions that were held at the Fort Lauderdale site?
So there's an artist committee that consists of the residents in the building, and they do the programming of the space. Yep.
So what we're here tonight to do is to get council's official approval to authorize staff to go ahead and begin these negotiations of a memorandum of understanding. Some things that this will include, to be very clear to council, is it does give us that ability to exclusively negotiate with Art Space for the 155 South Hibbert location. Of course, as we get into the development agreement and some kind of a purchase or a lease agreement, those will be back before council for your official action. The MOU would also include the ability to administratively extend the negotiation timeline if both parties agreed to that. And it also would ensure that any approvals that we make during this time period in this negotiation are contingent on the successful application and receipt of the housing tax credit dollars in 2015. So I just need council's official approval of that.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. I wanted to add my support to the proposal. Again, talking about the old days, I was part of a council that had a memorandum of understanding to develop this site as Temple Court, which was would have been affordable housing at the time, working with Housing for Mesa. It was very substandard properties that looked like migrant housing, migrant worker housing, and it was a long accomplishment for the city to acquire the properties over that extended period of time, but the intent was to use it for affordable housing. And now with the advent and operation of the Mesa Arts Center, as well as the colleges and universities downtown and the other arts-related operations that we expect to see, I think it's a very great use for this site. It's still affordable housing, but with the element of the arts in it. So I hope that we would give direction to move ahead with the discussion and look to the various ways in which we can participate, whether with CDBG funds that are either left over for this year or for next year, to make this project pencil out. I know that other council members have seen these projects like these around the country, and I have too, and they really have. They've done a lot in other communities to catalyze redevelopment and interest in an area, and so very jealous that it's in Vice Mayor Glover's district, but I'll still support it.
Thanks, I appreciate that. Councilmember Luna.
I just think this is a fascinating project. I'm really excited. I'm certainly in support of you doing this. I'm going to be visiting Seattle really soon, so I'm really anxious to go and visit that site and look at that and take some pictures and bring it and share it with my colleagues here on the Mesa City Council. So I'm very much supportive of this project.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Benelli, do you have?
Oh, I think everybody knows I support this project. Very anxious to see it happen and open in 2017. Let's hope that it all works out that way. I'm also really happy that this workforce housing is geared toward an economic development, of course, path. Downtown is our arts and cultural district, and I think it's the perfect use of our federal funds to get a project like this going and get that grassroots community involvement happening and work off of what Cindy has done with the Mesa Arts Center. So just excited. Can't wait for 2017.
Councilmember Richens?
I think it's a wonderful project. Yeah. It's, I think it'll really do it. It'll go a long way to meet our goal of having a transformative community project, particularly at this site, and the wonderful symbiosis that kind of exists between the Arts Center and the urban garden and the college and any other developments that might come into that area. So.
Okay, thank you. Well, you have your direction. We're really excited about this project. It has great synergy between everything that's going on in downtown. So we're excited to move forward, and we're excited to enter in this MOU with ArtSpace.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And just so council knows, there's going to be a lot of activity coming up in the next 6 to 7 months, and so we will be back in front of you from time to time to just give you updates as that progresses.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is item 2B, appointments to boards and committees. Can I get a motion? Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, by Councilwoman Benelli and second by Councilmember Luna. All in favor, vote aye. Aye. Next is, are there any questions on job order contracts for item 3? No questions? All right. Can I get approval for minutes from an executive session held on June 26, 2014? Seconded? Okay. Motion by Councilmember Kavanaugh, second by Councilwoman Benelli. All in favor, vote aye. Aye.
Aye.
All right. Here reports on meetings or conferences attended. Councilmember Kavanaugh.
I just wanted to thank city staff and volunteers for the great job they did in our 4th of July celebration. I heard nothing but great compliments from people who attended, that this year's layout was a significant improvement. All the different events were well attended and well recognized, and I think a hearty congratulations goes to all who made it possible. Thank you.
Mr. Brady, do you know how many people attended?
Many.
Well, thank you for that quantitative number. I really appreciate it. So.
I don't have a number.
So. Right, any other comments from the City Council? All right, turn it over to Mr. Brady.
So I have some good news. Our next study session will be Thursday, August 14th. We'll see you then. So we'll see you in a few weeks.
All right, thank you. One last shout out. Tomorrow, there, as part of the Ice Water Challenge, it will be benefiting the Arizona 100 Club. Chief Frank Milstead will be competing this challenge tomorrow at 5 p.m. at our training facility located at 3260 North 40th Street. Everybody is welcome to come and watch. I will be donating $100 if he doesn't do it and $200 if he does do it. And so I'm hoping that we can see Frank participate in this challenge, and I would encourage my council members to attend and to donate to this worthy cause as well. All right, if that being it, then we can have a motion to adjourn. A second, and all in favor, vote aye. Aye. And we'll see you upstairs.